my laptop anymore because I got the live chat pulled up here. Um,
I'm gonna put the live chat up here.
all right. And we are live. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, and also Kidblue watchers, his Instagram followers, his Twitter
Yes,
followers.
sir.
If you guys are not doing that, the links are down below. I know he do be posting on Instagram. I saw his Instagram story today. I won't spoil it so that he gets more traffic there. Go to his Instagram and check out the Instagram story. And see what the man posted. What's good, Harrison? Jolly in the chat, bro. How you doing? What's up, Lestat Walton? How you guys doing? First and foremost, you see, I had to adjust the setup for the how the live stream looks, because I just wanted our faces to show a bit more. So the live chat is gone, but I do have our names below there. Kind of
That's
took
really good,
inspiration
man.
from how Kidblue set up his. Thank you, bro. Raphael Doolin, what's up, man? Nerding on Sports. Lucky Luciano, how are you guys doing? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And how you doing, Kidblue? What's going on, man?
I'm doing great, man. I just got me a Saquon jersey,
I can
so
see.
yeah, I'm excited about that. Excited about to wear it every time the Giants play a game now, and proud to represent Big Blue. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Wait, did you get it online and get it shipped, or did you go into a store?
No, actually, my mom got it for me as a gift when she went to New York this weekend, and she came back down with it. So
Bro,
yeah,
this man right here, that's an amazing gift. And thank you, Harrison, for the $2 super chat. Fire Saquon jersey, KB, exactly. I gotta get me one of those later on this year. What up, Patrick Torres? He says best duo since Pippen and Jordan. Yo, man, listen, we be cooking
appreciate
up
it,
some
man.
fire in these podcasts, man. If you guys
Oh
been
yeah,
listening, we be cooking up some fire. What up, Kane, Isaac Sadeo? All right, so Kid Blue. Unfortunately, like last week, we didn't get anything spicy happening this week to start off the podcast with. But no
right.
worries, no worries. There's always something to talk about. Now then, first things first. I don't know if you know that the Giants channels themselves, like the official New York Giants channel, they put out their own podcast. I think it's like I forgot what it's called, man.
I know
It has
one of
Big
them.
Blue in the title or something like that.
One of them I used to watch. 'Cause I know they have multiple podcasts now, but one I used to watch heavy back in high school was like Big Blue Kickoff Live.
I think that's the
Um,
one.
yeah, okay, maybe they're still doing that. I haven't watched their podcast in such a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes like Carl Banks is on there, but like
right.
they have like their own people on there, and the thing they
John
were talking
Schmelk,
about,
Lance Meadow,
yeah, John
Paul
Schmelk,
Dottino. Yeah, I
exactly.
remember all those guys.
Today they had Jeff Fiegels on there. I think he was a punter for the Giants. I could
Yeah,
be
the
wrong.
punter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good commentator as well for the Giants.
You know who I really want to talk to, just like on an off topic? I really want to talk to Lawrence Tynes, man. I feel like he'll be a great former player to talk to, especially with
Dude's
the
a
picking
savage,
us to the
man.
Super Bowl.
He's a
Exactly. You seen
savage.
him on
I
Twitter,
follow him on
right?
Twitter. I
Yeah.
follow him on Twitter. He's got no chill, man. He's got no chill. That's for sure.
Lawrence Tynes on Twitter is so entertaining. It's not even funny, yo. Y'all should
That's
go
for
check
sure.
him out, bro. Him and Eli, but Lawrence has been on it for a minute now. He got no chill.
Right.
Um, yeah, according to the chat, it is indeed Big Blue Kickoff. So the thing I saw today, I was just listening to it offhandedly. They were like, all right, let's make some predictions. And then they were talking about defensive predictions. I was like, wow, these guys are going in pretty heavy. Because, like, the problem with me, and you can share your experience with this, in terms of trying to predict Giants defense or just defense in general, is that it's way more random than trying to predict the offense, especially when it comes to things like tackles and interceptions. It's
Oh,
like,
for
it's
sure.
so random. It's like, how can you even predict it?
Right. Right. I completely agree. Especially with offense, it's much more easier to predict that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Especially when you got like I don't know, it just is. Like you could just look at the previous series and be like, all right, with like for example with Saquon, right? You could be like, okay, with a bad offensive line, man averaged 5.0 yards per carry. With a good offensive line, he's probably gonna average the same thing or better, just like simplifying it to the max. But one thing
Right.
they were talking about, if you wanna get into this game right now, they were trying to say who on the Giants secondary would have the most interceptions and what would the over under be. So according to them, or I should say according to Jeff Fiegels, it would be James Bradbury. And he going with Bradbury just because Bradbury has the most experience. I
Hmm.
think he has a year under Bill Peppers. I could be wrong about that, but it's between him and Peppers. Bradbury has the most experience, and Bradbury's been up against these top corners in the NFC side. We talked about it heavily on both of our channels, how he guarded Michael Thomas, he guarded Julio Jones, uh,
Hmm.
guarded Mike Evans, who is honestly kind of underrated.
Yeah,
You're in the
definitely.
Tampa area. Like, I'm pretty sure you know better than I do. Mike Evans is like super underrated.
Mike Evans is God over here, man.
What about Chris Godwin? Is Chris Godwin God over there now?
They're loving Chris Godwin, but I'll tell you right now, you can't speak badly about Mike Evans because Mike Evans got drafted before Odell,
Hmm.
so they're that 2014 wide receiver class is insane. So Mike Evans is God to them. You can't speak about Odell, you can't speak about Sammy Watkins, you can't speak about any of these other wide receivers drafted in 2014 draft. Just Mike Evans.
Yo, man, that 2014 draft was just legendary just for the wide receivers. I mean, but looking back on it now, I think the only two elite ones that you could argue out of there was Odell and Evans.
Right.
Maybe there's somebody that I'm missing, but it
Right.
started off real hot, and then a couple guys fell off, like Watkins with his injuries. I think Cooks was in the 2014 draft class too, and then
Yeah.
Cooks with his injury, like a couple of them just start falling off a little bit. But yeah,
Right.
so like he said, James Bradbury. I was like, all right, I can see that. You know what? I'll probably agree with that. But I was thinking in my head maybe somebody like a DeAndre Baker could come out and break out, who we'll get to later on because apparently
Hmm.
some new evidence came up about him. I was like maybe DeAndre Baker just because he's gonna be on the second guys and maybe quarterbacks might try and avoid James Bradbury. Once again, completely random to predict. But who do you got if you were to choose somebody?
Well, right off the bat, I'd probably say James Bradbury, just because it's probably the most obvious pick to me. As much as I would like DeAndre Baker to be that guy to lead the defensive backs, I just don't see it yet. I just think to me it would be wishful thinking to do so, just because he just has so much more to learn. Now, if they run a lot more, because I hear this defense loves blitzing from everywhere, as James Betcher's defense was supposed to do, but this new defense that Patrick Graham runs, they run a lot of blitz. That means they have a lot of man coverage. So hopefully DeAndre Baker progresses because pretty much his skill set. And as far as the safeties go, Jabril Peppers is not really a interception machine at all, so I don't really count on that at all. And then McKinney is a guy that he's a rookie. I don't expect him to lead the team in interception. So I think pretty much all it leads to is James Bradbury, in my opinion. How much was the over under? How much
So
did
they
they
were
have?
saying with Bradbury, I think they said 7. I could be wrong. They were like 6 or 7
God,
over under. Yeah,
that's a
two.
lot, man.
That's a
In
lot,
my
right?
opinion,
Cause like
that's a lot.
how much did Stephon Gilmore have last year? Stephon Gilmore, he had around like 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah,
I could be
somewhere around there.
overshooting.
Usually the top elite corners would catch like 7. Like the leaders for interceptions each year catch like 6 or 7.
Yeah, like I was like, all right, and maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but my if Bradbury is the one leading, I'm saying like a solid 4 or 5. I'm gonna place it right around there. He's not elite by any stretch of the imagination. He's not terrible either. I think he
Mm-hmm.
could have some good luck. And what's up, Wolves, bro? I see you in there. He says, yo, what's up, KB in the
What's
hub?
going on, Wolves?
Um, yeah, so what are you thinking? I'm like 4 or 5 if it's Bradbury, and then like when they got down to it, they were talking total interceptions and stuff, and in general, I was like, wow, man, I thought this Giants defense had to improve a little bit, but them talking about where it needs to be in terms of stats, I was like, it needs to improve a lot of it.
Yeah, right. Oh well, that's probably because they have high expectations. Man, especially saying James Bradbury is over under 7 interceptions. Oh my lord. I'm right there with you. I'd say 4 or 5. I would push a 5, a solid 5. I think 4. I think he could. I think he can match 4. I think he could get over 4. And I know in his career, I don't think he's gotten over 4 in his career. But I think putting him as on a new team where he is obviously the best man there. I think James Bradbury will show out, and I think he could catch a legit 5 or 4 or 5, but I cannot see 7, especially if that's the over under. I take the under all
Oh
day,
yeah, I'd
even
take
if
the
he
under on
does.
7, yeah.
Yeah, even if he does lead the team in interceptions, it's not going to be over 7.
And by the way, guys, real quick, it just popped in my mind. If you need me to raise KB's volume, let me know. I know in one of our streams we had a problem with that. I have a comment from Wolves here that I'm sure you'd love to read in that voice.
Let's see. What did he say here? He said, KB, why are you praising Jabril Peppers? What did he do? Oh man, yeah, that's probably one of my most famous quotes last year.
It's gonna stick with you throughout the entirety of your YouTube
Oh
career, man.
yeah, yeah.
Kane Zong's out here saying Jordan Randon said in a podcast, if McKinney wasn't there, Giants would have traded back and taken Zach Bond. How do I think the draft would have went if that happened? Well, first of all, I was a big Zach Bond fan. I wanted Zach Bond all day long. I'm y'all know I'm not against the McKinney pick. I think it was one of the steals of the draft. But if they did that, well, are all they it depends what they're getting back in that trade. Is the only thing they're getting back going to be the lower second round pick, depending who they trade back with? Is there another pick involved, possibly a player? So if we're saying it's just that other second round pick and we get Zach Bond, it changes the draft a lot. I don't think we go Matt Pert in the third. I think they probably look for a safety in the third, and then we won't go Darnay Holmes in the fourth. No, actually, I think we still go Darnay Holmes in the fourth because there wasn't really any tackles in the fourth round that were stuck in around, just floating there. I don't know, but I don't think we go Matt Pert in the third just because I would think they try and address the safety position either way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if we picked up Zach Bond, it definitely would have shifted the draft a little bit. But you know what? I'm okay because I've said this before. The draft, I'm okay that we didn't get an edge rusher. Like in those mid rounds, like Zach Bond and guys like that, because I don't believe they're gonna be that much better than what we already have. We got a bunch of third round talent on our team as it is. You could equate Kyler Fackrell to a third round talent, O'Shane Zemenis third round, Lorenzo Carter's third round. A bunch of these guys third round talent. Zach Bond. Although I love Zach Bond as a player, I don't think he would have provided as much impact as Xavier McKinney is going to impact us. Like, I think he's straight up a starting safety just right off the bat. He's straight up first round talent, like mid first round talent in my opinion. I just think he dropped because safeties aren't as valued as other positions. I think he's automatically a starter in this league, and Zach Bond I feel like will be a rotational guy that would take some years to develop to be a starter. So I'd probably still take Xavier McKinney if you gave me that option.
All right, I would probably still go that way also, but I agree with you on that point right there. I made a video on it a couple months back, and I know you did as well, talking about specifically the third round talent, how the Giants should stop drafting pass rushers outside the first round. Because here's the deal with pass rushers, right? They're the safest thing you can draft in the NFL. A pass rusher, if they perform and excel at the college level, they're most likely going to perform and excel at the NFL level because it's the easiest position to transition on like the different playing fields. But by excel, I don't mean excel in Division 2. I'm talking about excel in D1 and show that they're really a force to be reckoned with in D1. So in that sense, I completely agree with you because it's like you're taking somebody in the second, third round. Unless it's an anomaly like a Yannick Ngakoue, they're not really going to perform much better than the guys we already have. So that's a great point you brought up there.
Yeah, and another great comment there, Kane brought up Carter Coughlin is basically Zach Bond. Well, you could argue that because Carter Coughlin is slimmer. He gets by with his athleticism. And
he does the same
Zach
job.
Bond was as well. Yeah, does the same job.
Yeah, they both rush, and I'm pretty sure both of them have a little bit of coverage skills to them.
Right, and they're both very sleek. They're both very agile. So that's a great point, Kane. Especially that we got Carter Coughlin in the 7th round, and the guy can possibly make the team. Probably a better pick there, value wise.
Lestat out here saying Danny Dimes was on Entertainer's stream. He's talking about Harrison Jolly. If Harrison, he's probably still in here. I don't know if you saw that, KB. Harrison is a spitting image of Daniel Jones. Not even joking, not even like exaggerating or anything like that. Harrison Jolly looks exactly like Daniel Jones. It's Daniel Jones with a New Zealand accent. That's it. Like,
no
for real.
Way.
Like when
well, now I have to see this.
Exactly.
Now I have to see it.
When people tuned into the stream, I think it was a couple nights ago or something, and Harrison, he has it's either an Instagram or Twitter that he follows me on, and his profile pic is his face. When I first got the follow, I was like, did Daniel Jones just follow me on a burner account or something, bro? What is this? But no, it's just Harrison. He legit spitting image, man.
Oh, man.
Pull it up if you can. Nerding Out Sports
sure.
saying Coughlin had a great 2018 season. Another player that we drafted that had a great 2018 season was Darnay Holmes. I know Holmes had a down 2019 because of his injury. I'm not sure why Coughlin had the down 2019 compared to his 2018.
Are you talking about Carter Coughlin?
Yeah, Carter Coughlin.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Which rookie will have the most impact, including undrafted free agents too? That kind of make it a little hard when you're including the undrafted free agents there. Makai Kinney. Or is Makai Kinney? Is that like a play on?
Funny.
Yeah, is that a play? Yeah, I'm like, is that a play on names there, my guy? But all right, excluding undrafted free agent, I'm gonna go kind of a blandish route. It's gonna be between McKinney and Thomas. If Daniel Jones gets sacked like 10 times this year in total over the course of the season, it's Thomas. If McKinney is out here getting like 3 sacks on the season with like 3 interceptions, it's probably going to be McKinney. But it's going to be between those two guys. I can't really see anybody past the first 2 round picks, who were essentially 2 first-round picks, having a greater impact than them. What do you think, KB?
Yeah, my honest opinion, I'm looking at Harrison Jolly's Twitter right now. I can't find his any pictures of him. I just see Daniel Jones pictures, but they're of Daniel Jones, I promise.
Okay.
But
Are you
what
sure about
call it,
that?
as far as that goes, as far as the biggest impact of the drafted rookies, I'd be right with you and say Andrew Thomas or Xavier McKinney. Like I said before, Xavier McKinney probably provides such great production in the second round, probably the most production you're going to get in the second round out of all the rookies drafted last year. And also one guy we have to note is Darnay Holmes as well, because Darnay Holmes might break out as a slot corner. We'll see. He's building up so much hype. Deion Sanders is talking about him. Bucky Brooks is talking about him. Everybody's talking about this guy.
And he
Michael
got
Robinson.
like last week or something, he got a Tom Hanson Award that goes to players in the Pac-12 that were both great football players and like they show great leadership off the field or something like that. So he got an award recently too.
Love it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Darnay Holmes already. I wasn't a huge fan when we picked him just because I was so much like keyed on a center. But now that eventually we got Shane Lemieux, we're kind of grooming him up. I love the Darnay Holmes pick, man. Even though, like I said, we have so many corners, man. We're gonna wind up cutting guys that we know that we wanted to develop. Like Corey Ballantyne's on the bubble, Grant Haley's on the bubble. A lot of these guys are on the bubble to get cut. But I don't even care. Darnay Holmes, I think was a great value, a great pick, and I think he can provide production. He's an honorable mention though, but I'll say Andrew Thomas or Xavier McKinney.
Nah, hell yeah, I'm right with you there. Basically, since the dude was drafted, anything I've heard of him just increased how much confidence I had in him and how much I liked him. And if any of you talking about like the leadership off the field with Darnay Holmes, if any of you guys go to any of his social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, I don't know if he has a Twitter, but I know he has an Instagram. He doesn't post about himself. He posts about like the off-season programs that he works with to help kids develop off the field. He posts about his football programs that he started to help, keep kids out of trouble and whatnot. He never posts about himself. He only posts about his work off the field.
Yeah, I love it, man. Especially that helps when you're trying to build a culture, especially with the new coaching staff, like Joe Judge has, and being a rookie head coach, you need other guys in that locker room to help boost up the team.
Wolf says you're still trash at Madden. KB versus the Hub would be the ultimate tank. Listen, I'm still working on that hype video. I've already filmed it. I just haven't gotten to editing it because I don't know what in the world I want it to look like yet. Like that's gonna take a while.
I have an image of what I want mine to look like. It's gonna look beast, man. It's gonna look beast.
Wolf says you're gonna shoot your leg too in the Madden game. This man, I think he thinks you're Burris, bro. Oh no, I think he's responding to Lucky's comment. Lucky says Ben Victor is going to make this team almost identical to Plaxico Burris. Lost in the shuffle at OSU. I agree with him there. He was lost in the shuffle at Ohio State because Ohio State just had a bunch of good receivers. I would hope if there's any undrafted free agent that makes the team, I want it to be Ben Victor. Just looking at him out of college, I think he fits the Giants the best in terms of size and speed. But what do you think?
As far as the Ohio State guys, I really like Austin Mack. Austin Mack really reminds me of Victor Cruz, man. The guy who is so small and compact. He runs beautiful routes and he catches all the contested catches like Victor Cruz used to do. I love Austin Mack. I like Ben Victor too, but to me, I don't think he utilizes his height the way he should. He's like Corey Washington to me. If you remember Corey Washington a couple years ago, big, tall receiver that could be used as a red zone target, but just doesn't always use his height to his advantage. And I feel like he's just like scared of contact a bit. I really like Austin Mack. He's not scared of contact. Really wants to catch those balls. In between the contact and I'm a huge fan of Austin Mack.
I'll tell you one other thing about Ben Victor to go with you, like how he's kind of afraid of contact. He definitely needs to gain more weight for me. He's a little too skinny at that height. What is he like 6'4", 6'5", but only 190?
Like that. His arms look like twigs, man.
Yeah. Mikey C saying that David Sills is the sleeper on that team. Another undrafted free agent. Is he the one out of LSU or is he another one?
He's actually from West Virginia.
Okay.
He is a wide receiver, and he actually used to play quarterback for West Virginia, and he was getting beat out. And instead of him being kicked off the team and looking for another team, he decided to want to stay in West Virginia and play wide receiver. And he like broke records as a wide receiver over there, man. Like no
Really?
joke. David Sills, look up this dude, man. David Sills is a story. Last year, he was undrafted free agent last year. I forgot what team signed him, but he went out in the draft with Gary Jennings last year, the other wide receiver from West Virginia, who I was a huge fan of. And I think Gary Jennings is now in the Miami Dolphins. But it was Gary Jennings and David Sills I was huge fans of out of West Virginia. And you know West Virginia, they come out with a bunch of speedy receivers, man. Tavon Austin is from West Virginia. A bunch of these speedy receivers are from West Virginia.
Jesus, Monkey C saying that he had 18 touchdowns and 15 touchdowns in his last 2 seasons.
Dude, David Sills is a monster. The dude catches everything too. He's like a specialist in over the shoulder catches, man. Love that guy.
Lucky is saying that Austin Mack is a little too slow to join the team.
Yeah, he is slow. That's one thing that's kind of why he's always catching the ball in contact, because he doesn't really burn players. But I'm not looking for burners. We have enough burners on this team.
But do we though? No, seriously, do we actually? Other than like Corey Coleman is a question mark, right? Because he might get injured, and I really think we brought him back to be a returner more than a receiver. And then there's Darius Slayton. What other burners do we have?
Well, remember, Sterling Shepard runs like a 4.4, and Golden Tate runs like a 4.4.
Okay, but Sterling Shepard's going to be in the slot, right? We're looking for outside receivers, aren't we?
Right. But, I mean, we're definitely looking for outside guys, don't get me wrong, but I think Austin Mack has a better chance just because I feel like he's more reliable, and I get that, you know, I totally get, trust me, I totally get Benjamin Victor fits the mold of what we want. I just don't think he is going to take advantage of the opportunity that he's given. I think even though everybody's going to be looking at him because we've been looking for a red zone target and outside guy for such a long time, I don't think he's the guy. As much as I want him to, I've seen too many receivers come and go. Alonzo Russell, Brandon Marshall, Corey Washington, Benny Fowler. What's the other dude's name? A couple years ago, the guy out of Bowling Green. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
Roger Lewis.
Oh yeah. Yo, low key, Roger Lewis should have. Dave Gettleman, I think Gettleman should have kept Lewis when they let go of him in 2017. Roger Lewis was a good receiver for us.
Yeah, I mean we had a bunch of bigger receivers and they just never took advantage. So, and even Brandon Marshall as a top-notch red zone outside receiver like Brandon Marshall couldn't even fill in the role for us.
Marshall, I can't make any excuses for him, bro. The only thing I can think, he was just plain washed, man. That's the only thing that comes to mind. Yeah.
So, Ryson John is actually listed as a tight end. He has the number 42, so he's a tight end for sure.
Lucky saying that Lewis got screwed. I completely agree with that. Another person that got screwed that you brought up actually was Alonzo Russell. I think Alonzo Russell should have made the team last year instead of Cody Core. And I like the hustle play, Russell hustle, that rhyme, don't hate the player, hate the game, bars. Listen, Alonzo Russell, he showed a lot of promise as just somebody that was going to work hard. And I don't know, do you think maybe he comes back this year again in another type of preseason showout and then the Giants choose him this time?
Well, I don't even know if Alonzo Russell is on the team anymore. I think he got signed to another team. I'll have to check. I think he got signed to another team, but we do still have Amba Edetawo, who's another guy I forgot to mention. Amba Edetawo is another 6'4" receiver that didn't work out for the Giants. He's back on the Giants and see if that works out. But like I said,
Amba Edetawo has been with the team for what, like 3 years now?
Yeah, and he's been in the AAF and he's been in the XFL. Every time he comes back to the league, he's with the Giants. So yeah.
Shout out to Dylan Renner. Thank you, Dylan, for the $2 super chat. He says, "Yo, KB Hub, been talking smack saying you trash at Madden. Listen, KB is trash at Madden. I'm going to have to expose him when we play. I'm just letting you guys know beforehand so you don't get disappointed."
Guys, I'm giving him his time to practice. That's why it hasn't happened yet. I'm letting him practice.
And for those of you that look at my franchise mode playthroughs, I'm not going to give away all my secrets. I'm purposely being trash on franchise mode, man. Those 5 interceptions I threw that one game, that's
God.
all, bro, that's all part of the strategy. You got to think strategy here.
It's the hustle. It's the hustle.
Yeah, I can't be showing him all my moves. Then he'll have game film to look at, man.
Right, because that's what you call it. If that's what you call it. That's what you call it.
Bronx B Squad is in the house. What's up, man? Lestat Wilson saying, if the draft was not stacked, what round do I think our undrafted free agents would have been drafted? Well, I thought Benjamin Victor would have went in the 5th or 6th. Austin Mack probably around there also. Bryson John, I honestly think he would have went undrafted. Javon
Yeah,
Leake
because
should have been somebody that went in the fourth or fifth. And those are really the only ones that I could really project in any type of rounds.
right. I'm trying to think of any other names, but I completely agree with you. There's two wide receivers there. There's another guy out of LSU, the wide receiver out of LSU.
The
He
speed one,
hasn't
yeah.
done much. He hasn't done much, but I think his 40 time would have got him drafted. And I think he drops a lot. He's basically like Darius Slayton,
Hmm.
but just worse coming out the draft because he
Hey, I
dropped
mean,
almost
yo,
everything
like
at
let's keep it
LSU.
real. Darius Slayton was pretty bad coming out the draft. The
Dude,
Tyke
he
Tolbert
was
just fixed
bad.
him up.
Right, he was bad, and Dave Gettleman saw something in him to draft him in the fifth round. Um, but yeah, Rice and John, I don't think would have gotten drafted either because he's coming from the CFL. Who's the other name you mentioned?
I said Javon Leake would have probably went in the fourth or
Javon
fifth.
Leake. I'm not the biggest fan of Javon Leake, man. Just because, and his film and highlights are fine. Especially on film, he reminds me a lot of Tevin Coleman.
Hmm.
Just being a one-cut guy and straight up runner. He's very flat-footed. I was a running back that was very flat-footed as well. I ran straight up like this, and so that's how Javon Leake and Tevin Coleman run. So that definitely reminiscence a little bit, and I like his play style. Very one-cut, very Rashad Jennings esque. But to me, I don't think really makes the angles. He doesn't bend. He doesn't move around. He doesn't really try to find a hole. He's just a one-cut guy. I'm not a huge fan of Javon Leake. And if you watch Javon Leake's combine, if somehow you guys can get 2020's combine, because I can't find any
Bro,
combine
it's gonna be on the
highlights.
internet somewhere.
Dude, I can't find any combine highlights on Javon Leake because his combine highlights were non-existent. He had literally. I'm a running back guy, man.
Yeah.
I know my running backs. Javon Leake, single-handedly, I'm not even joking with everybody in the chat. Javon Leake had the worst combine I've ever seen in my entire life.
Before you go into him, real quick, shout out to Dylan Renner again, coming in clutch. The second $2 super chat. He says, KB, there's film to watch when I played the hub. Man, it's part of the strategy. But yeah, you were about to go in on Javon Leake, man. We just
But,
gonna scroll past that.
but yeah, when I say Javon Leake, and this is why when I read the undrafted free agents list that who we signed, I'm like, oh, Benjamin Victor, I've heard about him. I've seen him on Ohio State. Oh, Austin Mack, that's nice. Another Mississippi State safety that we've seen. We have two Mississippi State safeties now that are exactly the same. A cool little cornerback that we got from a small school out of Hampton, I believe. Forgot his name. Christian Angelo, something like that. I really like him. I'm like, okay, these guys are pretty good. Then I see Javon Leake. I'm like, oh, you bastard. Oh, how the hell did you get onto this team? Because I was watching.
Bro, he got something on Dave Gettleman, bro. That's how.
Dude, I was watching the scouting combine. This is no joke. Live on TV. I was watching the scouting combine, watching the running backs. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, look at these guys. Every time I watched Javon Leake, I was like, oh, what is he doing? What is he doing there? Oh, my God, that was terrible. I no joke. I did not see one drill of Javon Leake made that I was thoroughly impressed with. I hated his combine. I honestly think Javon Leake has the worst running back combine I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been watching combines for about 5-6 years now. The worst one I've ever seen in my life.
Bro.
I don't like it.
Who's the second worst? Because I can't even think of one that I would label as the worst.
Dude, I didn't even know who was the worst before that. But I tell you right now, running back drills are not that hard to master. As long as you know the fundamentals.
You got it there, yeah. The running back drills should be like the easiest.
They're not that hard to master. Defensive back drills are the hardest drills. Okay, defensive back drills are insane because you have to work on those hips. You got to work on your footwork. You got to work on your balance. I mean, everything. You got to catch the ball right. Even though defensive backs aren't good at catching the ball, you still got to catch the ball to look good in the combine. I mean, defensive back drills are insanely hard, and that's something to really watch. Running back drills, you're freaking doing whatever you're doing on the field just with no players trying to tackle you. You're just stepping over hurdles, for crying out loud.
Rob, I will say, Broccoli Rob brings up a good point. He says, who cares about combine performance? I won't say disregard them completely, but they do play a certain part in it. So you want to talk about that, KB?
Right, I definitely, and I can definitely testify to that because when I played football in high school, when we did drills, I sucked at the drills. Because I'm not good at like organized things, right? I was very, I don't know, I was very just in the moment type of things. They're improvising. I was an improviser. I just did whatever I wanted to do and it worked, right? But the drills I sucked at, like 40 time, sucked at. I'm only good at game speed. I understand all of that. But if you're trying to make a serious, I'm not an NFL player, obviously. If you're trying to make a serious run for the NFL, you better have a good combine. Really, I can't really find. You guys can maybe tell me who had a terrible combine. I'm not talking about just a little bad 40 time from an offensive lineman or a bad 40 time from a quarterback or something like that. Who had a terrible combine that you could say was top 5, terrible combine, or maybe even top 20 terrible combine that you could say had a great career in the NFL? Really, you haven't seen one. Maybe from a quarterback because he had a bad day. I know Teddy Bridgewater had a bad pro day, but he wound up working out all right. He's not a top quarterback in the league. Combines do matter because they really show what your fundamentals are, how you kind of adjust to things. What combines don't really do is they don't really tell you how you're going to be playing on the field. That's not what they're for. They're really to measure your fundamentals. They're there to measure what you've learned throughout your whole career leading up to this point into the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They want to show coaches more than the fans, because remember, the combine, before it was televised, it was just for coaches. It was just for coaches and just for the teams in the front office to try to display what coaches can do to make this player better if they were to draft him, what they have in their player as far as fundamentals go. Now that it's televised, a lot more fans are into it as well. But the combines at the base of it is really for the coaches to see what this player has before they decide to draft him. It's not really showing what they're going to put out on the field, but their fundamentals. So I think combine really plays a big factor. I know it's not a big factor as everybody says it is. Like, if a guy has a bad 40 time, I don't care, because the way 40s are run are so awkward anyway. The way your player has to like crunch down and jump out, I think it's stupid anyway. I don't really pay attention too much to 40 times, but if you have a good 40, I mean, I'm gonna pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a bad 40, like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had a 4.7 40, which is bad for a slot receiver.
And he's a pretty good receiver.
He's a pretty damn good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Why? Because he dominated the rest of the drills in that combine.
He's one of the best route runners in the NFL.
One of the best route runners, and you know what's funny? It's usually the white receivers that are running route runners.
Bro, be careful what you say. The country and division, I really don't care.
I get it. I know, I get it. But yeah, Cooper Kupp is a great example. He had a bad 40 time, but he dominated the rest of the combine with his route running and his catching ability. I don't mind that. But if you have a terrible combine throughout the whole damn thing, like just everything sucks. You run a weird-looking 40 time like Javon Leake did. You have terrible hip movement. One thing you got to have as a running back is some hips, man. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to shift through and do the salsa in between that offensive line. He's not able to do that. Even watching him on a film, his offensive line was able to grant him a hole, and he just burst right through it and just ran. I do believe his game speed's a lot better than his 40 speed that he put up, but that's just me. But yeah, I guess my rant.
That's his little rant. More on his channel if you're not subscribed. Real quick, getting back to the chat, it's kind of moved a little bit since we last talked to it. Mikey C saying, "What do you guys think about Dominique Ross? He got a lot of talent. I didn't really hear him. What about you, KB? Kind of a quick."
He's the guy. He's the pass rusher out of North Carolina that I cannot find a speck of film I hate watching highlights, so I kind of only want to watch film. But guys like Christian Angelo, the small school guys, you have to watch highlights because they don't have film on them. Mm-hmm. But as far as Dominic Ross goes, I can't find, if anybody could find me one, I can't find a lick of highlights on Dominic Ross. I heard that he's a versatile linebacker, that he's an edge rusher / cover guy, that he's very slick and sleek and like more lanky. That's what I'm hearing. But I don't know too much about Dominic Ross. Maybe anybody could fill me in. Thank you so much, Paola, saying nice jersey, KB. Thank you.
Bronx B Squad saying, I remember you from the 2019-2020 predictions by Hacky the Great. I'm Diana Sosi. Are you talking to me? Oh, no, he's adding at Broccoli Rob. Welcome into the chat, Broccoli Rob. How you doing? Lucky Luciano saying, Demontre Moore had the worst combine ever. I don't even know who that is.
Demontre Moore was a former third-round pick of the Giants a couple years ago, coming out of Texas A&M. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, but he dropped all the way to the third. I believe it was not injury. I think it was his attitude and stuff like that, just off the field issue with DeMontre Moore. But he was all right for the Giants, as a rotational guy in relief of Justin Tuck and who was it, Robert Ayers and stuff like that. But then he tried to revive his career with the Seahawks, with the 49ers, and it didn't work out.
Shout out to Ligma in the chat, the biggest troll that I've ever known. Ligma is here.
Ligma.
He's announcing himself. Dylan's saying that we got to join the Fantasy League Entertainment setting up in his Discord. He was talking about us, and he said he'd like to have you both. One of you got to stream it too. I'm watching. All right, the last part of that comment kind of got jumbled there, Dylan. But I guess we got to join the Entertainers Fantasy League. By the way,
Yeah,
I'll be starting a
I gotta
fantasy
get
league
back
later
on
on.
Discord, dude.
Yeah, I
gotta
haven't.
get back on Discord.
My own I'll keep it real with you. My own Discord is failing because I'm not even on it that much. Like I'm not on it that much to even like start conversations or anything.
Yeah, I gotta get back on Discord. I'm on Chris's Discord, and I'm just never on Discord.
Yeah.
That's why I never brought myself to make one. That's why I kind of keep it to like, if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter or whatever it is, or then I have community notes and stuff like that. But
yeah. Lucky saying that Terrell Suggs also had a bad combine. What did Terrell Suggs was not a first round pick, was he?
nah, I think he was.
He was.
Yeah,
I think I might be thinking of
all the
somebody
way
else.
back in like 2000, like 3 or 4, something like that.
What up to Kevin Cronin? Mikey C saying cone drill is the most important one. Cone drill shows agility. It really depends. Depending on what position they are, it could be the most.
Cone drill is
win.
really good for like edge rushers.
Edge rushers. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them really need that bend. You don't want to really
You got
stiff
that
edge rusher.
bend, yeah.
Uh,
What do you mean, dude?
What?
Dude, Terrell Suggs ran a 4.84 40. That's good.
Well, that's just one thing. What about the rest of the stats? Or I guess the rest of the thing.
I gotta see the rest of the stats, but that's the first thing that popped up here.
Kane Zong saying Orlando Brown had a terrible combine and was crucified and dropped in the draft, but now is a
very
Pro
true.
Bowler. And somebody else
Very
said,
true.
I can't see the name right now because it scrolled up. That Odell had a pretty bad 40 time, considering what his real speed is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mentioned that already, guys. That the 40 time I don't really care about as long as you have a good rest of the combine. Odell had a phenomenal combine. Besides the 40 time, he always says that he actually runs a 4.3 and everybody's mistaking him, and he ran a 4.42, which 4.42 is still good. Don't get me wrong, 4.42 is still good. But the fact that he was so disappointed with 4.42, like he was livid on 4.42. Yeah, 2003 draft, Terrell Suggs was drafted with the 10th overall pick.
All right, I was tripping. That's straight up there. Wolves is saying that he's the biggest troll now. Ligma, listen, I ain't see you troll that much yet. Wolves, maybe you are. I know you be on KB's channel. Maybe KB has seen you trolling out here.
Yeah, Wolves is a troll.
And Bronx B Squad is apparently a kid, letting us know. Ligma says, want to hear a funny joke? The Eagles are getting Denzel Mims. And what's up, TD?
No. Oh, yeah, I'm about to say, that was a joke. I was like, no way.
Oh my god, now Dylan Renner. Listen, are y'all all trolls? Dylan Renner is saying that he's the biggest troll out here.
Dylan Renner is the biggest troll on my channel. Wolves is getting there. Wolves is a newer guy. Well, because Dylan Renner's been doing it for years. Dylan Renner's my bodyguard on my stream. So, yeah, he's the executioner, judge, jury, and executioner on my channel. But,
anyway, since we were on the wide receiver thing, one thing Lestat asked earlier, don't think I didn't see it, Lestat. I just need to find a way to segue into it. He was saying, what do we think about Josh Gordon? Now, straight up, I don't know how this Josh Gordon thing got started. I don't know who brought it up. I don't know who started it.
Why is everybody making a video on this?
Exactly.
The Giants go?
It appeared.
happened?
Appeared out of nowhere. First, I saw it on Twitter, right? And then I saw Chris did a video, and then I saw I saw Bad Dog did one first, then Chris, then I saw Fist Vegas do one. I'm like, where did this come from? Where did this rumor start? I literally mentioned it because I heard about it on Twitter, in my one of my recent videos, I was like talking about Josh Gordon. I was like, nah, I don't want him, and that was literally all I said. I was like, nah, I don't want him. That's it. But I don't know where it came from.
That one thing I will tell you guys, and I'll probably make a video on it just to tell everybody to shut up about it, right? One thing I'll tell you, Josh Gordon, ain't no damn way Josh Gordon is gonna be a New York Giant. You're talking about a team trying to rebuild a culture. You're talking
and
about
we're already
hitting
hitting potholes in that with Baker and Rosas.
Right, exactly. But you're talking about a team that hired Joe Judge, as hard-nosed as he is, man, to bring in a guy that, listen, throw all the weed stuff behind. I don't care about that. Players smoke marijuana. I don't care about that. That may hurt your lungs and everything. don't care about that. You do whatever you want to do. That I don't really think that's the crux of the issue. I think the issue of why he's not getting back in the league is that time and time again he does not listen to authority, whether it be weed, whether it be anything else.
He's
I don't think
addicted.
he cares.
He
Right.
like not even a joke. He just legitimately needs help.
Right, and you gotta imagine if marijuana is a problem. Say marijuana becomes legal for whatever stretch of the imagination. What else is he gonna rebel on? If you can't follow the rules for that, and time again you're violating the rules for substance abuse every single time you get another chance, that's a problem. And with multiple teams, you look at the freaking Patriots, the Seahawks, the Browns, where he was constantly going back and forth with the Browns on. It's not worth it to bring him in because even if they make weed legal, there's always going to be something else because Josh Gordon does not care about what authority thinks. He
And
doesn't want to listen to it.
and I guess just to play devil's advocate here, somebody I think it is I for some reason the name isn't shown, but somebody's saying that Joe Judge is John Larson saying Joe Judge was his wide receivers coach. I'm like, listen, I know that's like a reason that people
For
would bring up.
1 year.
Yeah, but yeah, then you bring let's be real here. And it's not even I guess you could call it kind of, a weird theory, but I'm pretty sure the whole reason Judge even got the wide receiving coach job was because Belichick knew he was going to go out here and try to get a bigger title. And they do that all the time with coaches. They give them like a positions coach job to help them bolster their resume. I'm pretty sure that's all Judge was there for in terms of being the wide receivers coach.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And
And what? Josh Gordon was even there for a full season, was he? He was like there for a couple months because he couldn't stay off the weed.
I think he was with the Patriots. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he was with them for 2 years, but it wasn't 2 full years. It was like sporadically. So
Right.
yeah, the year he was actually there and made an impact, 2018. Judge wasn't even the wide receivers coach. Judge was still just the special teams coordinator. Uh, Church Jimmy saying Josh Gordon is greater than Gordon's fish fillets. Is that a joke that I'm not sure, inside
I
joke
don't
or
know.
something? Nerding out is out here telling me where it came from. Someone on CBS said the Giants would be a good fit. Listen, man, I respect my subs and my viewers, but y'all really listening to somebody on CBS? Like, come on. I think we went over this already with mainstream
I
media.
can't watch mainstream news. I don't watch it anymore. I really don't watch it anymore. I can't. I'd rather watch my freaking colleagues here. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube. I'd rather watch you guys
And
and put
by
out
the
my
way,
own news.
cough cough, plug for KB for the fans network, cough cough, and
Oh yeah,
we'll
yeah,
just
yeah,
get
yeah.
back to it.
Fan the fan
Fan to
network,
fan,
guys.
okay, fan to
Yeah,
fan,
go
okay.
ahead and if you guys follow me on Instagram, the link is in there. But just go to twitch.tv/FTFN and you'll see it there. Go ahead and follow it there. We're building a huge network over there. So if you guys are interested.
TD bringing up a good one. He says, "I know this is a Giant stream. Not really, bro. We talk general NFL if it comes
Yeah,
up.
anything you guys want.
Yeah, and I am a Giants fan, but can you predict where Cam Newton and Jadeveon Clowney end up and where Jamal Adams will probably go? All right, this is gonna be a fun one. Cam
I like
Newton,
this one, yeah.
I don't think Cam Newton's getting signed at all. And if he is getting signed, I think he's not gonna get signed until like literally like maybe a couple weeks before the season. As for who signs him, I want the Patriots to sign him, because I think that would be a really good fit for both teams. But realistically speaking, he's probably gonna go somewhere that already has like a veteran QB that's probably on the way out. So teams that come to mind, or a team that has a very young QB and is not confident in starting them yet. Don't call me crazy. I'm looking at some place like Vegas or Los Angeles in terms of the Chargers. I know Los Angeles has Tyrod, but I think we could all agree Cam is better than Tyrod, even when considering his injury history. And who knows how that QB battle might go out. For Vegas, you guys will say, I know you're a big proponent of Derek Carr having a bounce back year. It's not completely out the question, but I would like for him to go to the Patriots. What do you think where Cam Newton goes, and then we'll get on to Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, Cam Newton. I talked about this a little bit in my Colin Kaepernick video. I mentioned Cam Newton as well. Cam Newton, in my opinion, I think his two top best destinations, and the Patriots were one of them as well. But I think the Patriots are going to stick with Jared Stidham. I honestly think they are. Because I feel like they would have signed Cam Newton already just to get him accustomed to the team already. But they haven't done anything yet. They haven't shown any interest in him. And like you said, I would like to see Cam Newton over there as well. I think it'll be a great fit. But the two teams I have for Cam Newton is one, the Los Angeles Chargers, and that's because Tyrod Taylor is the ultimate bridge quarterback. I mean, he's the
Exactly.
ultimate guy. I mean, he's been Mr. Replaceable for how many years now with the Cleveland Browns? Baker Mayfield shoot him
The
away.
Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen shoot him away. So now he's coming to the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's gonna be shooting away over there too.
Tyrod
But
Taylor is the next Ryan Fitzpatrick.
exactly, he's the guy to just jump around the league, and Cam Newton would be a great fit over there. And the Los Angeles Chargers are ready to win. They're ready to win some playoff games.
I
I
think
don't think
people,
they'll make a Super Bowl
I think
run,
people
but
forget that they legitimately have a really talented roster. It's just that the Chargers, they just have
they
really
got
bad luck,
hurt.
bro.
They got demolished last year as far as injuries. All their star players were just gone, and if it wasn't for and not only that, Melvin Gordon held out. So yeah, they weren't really off to a great start. As far as the Chargers go, but I think they have a good team together. I think they can make some noise, and I think they cannot do that with Tyrod Taylor. Cam Newton is the way to go.
A
My
couple of
second
people are
team.
saying the
Hmm?
Colts. A couple of people in the chat are saying the Colts.
I don't think Philip Rivers is on the Colts, and then they have backing up Jacoby Brissett is backing up, so I don't see it there. And they're paying Jacoby Brissett like $15 million
Oh yeah,
to be
the
a backup.
Colts. I think in terms of total QB money are paying like 40 mil a year or something like that, something crazy like that.
Right, and they drafted Jacob Eason, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. And my second team that I see Cam Newton going to is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Actually, I think Ben Roethlisberger is going to get hurt. It's inevitable. I can't remember the last time he's played 16 games. He's always hurt. Anybody that plays back a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers knows they're going to get playing time. And I think Mason Rudolph is trash. I think
Bro,
Duck Hodges is
bro,
trash.
both of them are trash. Both of the backup
They're
QBs are
so
trash.
bad, absolutely terrible. Waste of time watching the Pittsburgh Steelers play with those two at quarterback. And I think Cam Newton is Ben Roethlisberger, but that could run you over. I mean, that's just what it is. So I love the fit. I think the best fit is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Ben Roethlisberger, if he goes down and Cam Newton takes over, Ben Roethlisberger will not get his job back.
I kind of
That's
agree
my,
with you on the Pittsburgh one because the Pittsburgh one fits exactly what I said. I think he's going to go to a team that has an older quarterback and might be in the market for a new one. Shout out to Delano Steele tuning in. He says, salute to
what's up,
everyone in
buddy?
the chat. Salute to KB and myself. Ligma, I'm not sure if you're trolling, but you say the Giants are interested in trading for John Ross for a fourth round pick. I'm pretty sure I brought this up to you jokingly in like one of our first Young Guns episode. I was like, I would love John Ross on the team. I think he'd be a good fit as like a number 3 option being opposite of Darius Slayton on the outside. Listen, if that's true, I'm for it. I literally have nothing against that. I really think John Ross would be a good fit in terms of speed and a deep threat and as a number 3 target. But Ligma, like we were just talking, bro, you was a troll, so I don't know if you're telling the truth.
I definitely not telling the truth. As far as John Ross goes, I would love him on the team, but yet we're still adding to that element of smaller slot receivers. You know what I'm saying? John Ross is more of a slot guy. I just can't see him playing outside. We just got so I know Darius Slayton can play outside. The majority of his snaps are outside. And Sterling Shepard is just a slot guy. Golden Tate can play outside too, but it's just I want someone just a little bigger. It's just 6'2", and above, man. That's all I'm asking for, man.
And getting back to the Steelers thing, the reason I said I partially agree with it is because of a comment that somebody else actually brought up. If I can find it, Lucky Luciano, he says Cam Newton can't complete a 10-yard out anymore. I don't know about that, but his shoulder is gone. I definitely believe that Cam Newton's his shoulder injury is way more serious than people will give it credit for, which is
They
part of the reason why I
the
want him to go to the Patriots because he'll fit right in terms of short passing and throwing inside the numbers. With the Steelers, like I'm not saying Cam's shoulder is gone, but the Steelers offense usually bombs it down the field a lot. I don't know if he can do that anymore.
Right, but my thing is Cam Newton didn't give himself time to recover. You remember he was suffering injury problems at the end of 2018. He comes out in 2019. It's like he doesn't skip a beat. He just tries to play the best he can. And I know that and then that's when he gets hurt again in the preseason and they kicked him out for the ankle injury. So as far as Cam Newton goes, he just needs to give him he just needs to give himself time to recover, and I think he'll be okay. You're right. I know as far as the Steelers goes, they love to bomb the ball downfield. That's how they played their offense for years over there. Patriots, they like to stay a little conservative. They dump it off to their running backs a lot, and I think that'll be a good system there for him. But as far as Steelers go, I think they will adjust to that. Because I know Mason Rudolph can't really bomb the ball. So I think they adjusted giving him short options as well. So we'll see. I think Cam Newton will go somewhere. I think he will have a home by the end of this
Oh yeah,
season.
I did see the reaction on your face when I said I don't think he might get signed. I don't know. It's like
Uh,
I have a strange feeling that he just might not end up on any team.
I have a hard because think about it. Not all 32 teams are going to be healthy at quarterback. I mean,
Hmm.
somebody's going to go down. It happens every year, and for sure, Cam Newton's going to be the first guy these guys call. First guy.
That's a good point right there. Delano, we just talked about it. Giants are entertaining Josh Gordon. Me and Kid Blue, we both don't know where it came from. Apparently, it started on CBS. As far as I know, they are not really entertaining it. It's just something that a
Stupid.
reporter came up with. Shout out
That's
to Joseph Clark, $2 super chat. He says, really excited to see full season of K. Smith and Conley, Caden Smith and Ryan Connolly. We could get into that real quick. I don't know about Ryan Connolly, but I'm really, which might be surprising to some of you, but I'm really excited to see a full season of Caden Smith because Caden Smith had a lot more snaps than Ryan Connolly did. If Connolly can come back and perform like he did in the Bucks game and the Washington game, then yeah, I'm down for a full season of that. But that's just my thoughts on it.
man. Yeah, you guys need to put some freaking respect on Ryan Connolly's name, man. I need to do a film review just on Ryan Connolly just to show you guys.
I got something for you, man. If you love Ryan Connolly that much, get a jersey. Well, how about that?
Man, I don't know about all that, man, but listen, Ryan Connolly's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. Remember, this guy was a 5th round pick. He was supposed to be like a special teams guy. He comes up, works his way up to the top of the roster, winds up starting in the nickel. I mean, the guy wasn't even supposed to do that. He's supposed to be a run stopper, but he starts playing in a nickel, starts playing some coverage. People know that he's not really great at coverage because what they watched on film. But if you guys watched him play for the Giants, he was playing some coverage, man. He was covering O.J. Howard downfield.
I'll tell you what.
He was supposed to be in the cover 2 zone. He followed him all the way downfield, defending the pass.
I'll tell you what. People seem to only think that he's a David Mayo type of middle linebacker, which is completely
He's faster,
false.
much more
I don't.
agile.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Connolly
Yeah.
at least has some coverage skills, and David Mayo does not.
David Mayo is a tank as far as getting in. He's a run stuffer. He's a big blob. That's what David Mayo is. That's what he's for. It's not a bad thing. He's in those base coverages that is there to stop the run. Ryan Connolly is more of a run stopper, but he's more lean. He's more muscular. He's more
agile. Yeah.
Right, more agile. He's able to get around more. He's able to move his feet a lot quicker. This guy's one of the most. David Mayo will wrap up and tackle you and stop the run, but Ryan Connolly will make you regret running his way. I mean, he is an aggressive tackler. Watching him at Wisconsin knows how to make some defensive players.
Wisconsin in recent years is just, let's just call it linebacker university, man. J.J. Watt came out of there also, did he not?
They're making some fantastic product over there in Wisconsin. Ryan Connolly was great, man. Joseph Clark says it. I've got full confidence in him. Me too. I am of the belief Ryan Connolly will be our solid starting middle linebacker next to Blake Martinez if he's completely healthy.
And Wolves, thank you for tuning in, bro. Really appreciate you tuning in, staying with us, and chatting with us. See you later, my guy. On back to Ryan Connolly. Listen, if he comes back and he is that, the only reason I even had a little bit of doubt is just because I need to see more, right? And I know, I know you don't blame me for that, but I'm speaking in general. Like, when I say you can't blame me for that, I'm talking to the chat, to Giants fans and whatnot. I just need to see a little bit more. I'd be ecstatic if we got somebody that can cover in Ryan Connolly and is still an extremely aggressive tackler, and then a tackling machine in Blake Martinez, who has the potential to be better in coverage based on what we saw in 2018 from him and Patrick Graham.
Right, and Blake Martinez came out with a lot of talk. He needs to put his money where his mouth is. I'll hear saying that Green Bay was the reason why he didn't look so great on film and that he wasn't used
KB,
the right
call
way.
me Nostradamus, bro, because before that interview, like 2 months before that interview, I said the same thing that Blake Martinez said. I was like, I looked at some of his tape, and I'll fully admit it right here. I did not go in and look at hours of Blake Martinez tape. I don't have time for that, straight up.
Right.
I looked at maybe like 30 minutes of Blake Martinez tape at the most. But what I did notice is I did see he looked like he was being, not being used correctly. He looked like he was specifically being used as a cleanup tackler. Like, they weren't using him to his full potential.
Absolutely, and that might. Listen, I'm not gonna give him the benefit of the doubt just yet because it could be just tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But I will say that Blake Martinez, when I watched him on film, people could go back and watch. I did a film review on him. So you guys could go. It's called Into the Blue, a deep dive into Blake Martinez. We went over Blake Martinez. I went over the pros and cons, and I kept saying this guy just looks either confused or he's just not supposed to be there. He's just always wandering around, not knowing what to do. The reason why is because he said in his interview, he said that he was always looking to see how he could play off of somebody. He was waiting to see what Darnell Savage was going to do, waiting to see what Preston Smith was going to do, what Darius Smith was going to do. He said he had to clean up their tackles, which is crazy. Which is crazy if you think about it. That Blake Martinez wasn't used to the potential he was, and maybe Dave Gettleman saw something. The same thing that he sees in Darius Slayton, right? Darius Slayton was a terrible prospect coming out of Auburn, and he saw something in him, brought him in, and look where he's at today. Hopefully Dave Gettleman saw something in Blake Martinez where he said, you know what? I see something in you. I'm going to bring you out. We're going to teach you our way and make you play to your strengths, and you'll be great.
Bronx B Squad. All right, I'll read your last comment. He says, "Who wants to hear a joke? Who is the best sports YouTuber?" Without a doubt, is going to be the official Giants YouTube channel.
The official Giants YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's the best sports YouTuber, bro.
That's a good one. That's a good one, man. The official Giants account right there.
Exactly. Dylan Renner saying exactly, this guy is underrated. Love how we didn't draft Simmons. And I'll continue to go back to say, we didn't draft Simmons, but we got a Simmons mini guy in McKinney, basically. Somebody, I brought it up, I did not get to see it. It was Joseph Clark. He said Caden Smith is like the offensive version of Conley. They both know what they're doing. And yeah, I'm way more on the Caden Smith train than I am the Ryan Conley train. When you have a connection with your quarterback, you don't have to be an athletic freak like Evan Ingram to be a good receiver. And Caden Smith has a connection with Daniel Jones, and it showed in those last couple of weeks of the season.
Right. You look at Tony Romo and Jason Witten.
Exactly.
Witten, in my opinion, was a terrible athlete. Jason Witten was just a fast offensive lineman, in my opinion.
He wasn't even, bro. He was a regular speed offensive lineman.
Dude,
this dude was an old man for his entire career.
Dude, he was. I don't even know how to explain Jason Witten. All right, dude was just an absolute opposite of a freak athlete. But let's see.
Lucky, I definitely think David Mayo is going to make the team, man. He did a lot for us last year. He's not going to be a starter, but the whole reason he was brought on here in the first place is great depth. And, I mean, we just signed him back to a pretty good contract for a guy of his tier.
Yeah,
we signed him to a pretty good contract.
I forgot how much it was for.
It was like 3 year. It was another 3-year deal. But we signed him to a pretty good contract. He's definitely going to be back on the team, Lucky. And TD, I saw your last comment before this Alex Tanny one. I'll get to that later. He was saying, let's get back to the Clowney and Adams, which was part of the whole Cam Newton question he asked. So Jadeveon Clowney, I think he's just going to end up back in Seattle. I've seen a couple people and a couple reports saying he might end up in Tennessee. I don't know how that got out there, but Tennessee could be a good fit. Straight up, I think he's just going to go back to Seattle.
Yeah, and especially they need pass rushers over there, man. They drafted L.J. Collier.
Bro, what is with Seattle and their drafts, man? Jesus Christ.
Man, I told everybody, they get weird, man. They get really weird.
Seattle, has the most nonsensical, bro, they got L.J. Collier, who was like a third-round talent, in my opinion. 1 year they got Rashad Penny, who was like a second or third-round talent. Who did they get 20? I don't even know. Listen, point is, Seattle just does not draft with any type of draft board, in my opinion. They just throw a dart and see where it lands on.
And Jordan Brooks this year, dude.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks this year. But Jordan Brooks, it was straight up like a late second round, early third round dude.
And it's funny because Patrick Queen went in the
right after,
right below him. Yeah.
Oh my God! And Patrick Queen to the Ravens. The Ravens, between the Ravens. And no, actually, it is the Ravens. I was about to say between the Ravens and Cowboys, but the Ravens had the best draft compared to anybody. They just hit like A-pluses with all their picks.
Yeah.
And
a couple teams there.
Yeah, what's up, John Doe? No problem that you're late. You're here, and that's what matters. And to close off TD's last question, the last person he was talking about, where do we think Jamal Adams is going to end up? I've said this a couple times now. I don't know where he's going to end up, but I want him to go to the Cowboys just to mess up the Dak Prescott situation more, because if he goes to the Cowboys, they're paying him money.
I didn't even think about that. Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. Man, I was scared. I don't want Jamal Adams.
Now, I want him to go there just to mess up the locker room, bro, and just to mess up the money.
Right. I wanted to go over there and set a new culture, because Jamal Adams is his own leader, man. He's a leader of men as well. So the fact that a defensive player would be the best leader there instead of the quarterback, that would be very interesting, man. I just don't want him to go to the Eagles. God. I can't stand Eagles fans.
Oh my God! And the worst part is the Eagles actually need a safety because they don't have their starting one anymore. His name is slipping my mind.
Malcolm
Malcolm
Jenkins.
Jenkins, yeah, he's back on the
Yeah,
Saints.
they put Jalen Mills, the former corner, at safety, and then they drafted Kevon Wallace, but he's not. Yeah.
And let's see. So between Alex Tanney, Cooper Rush, and Colt McCoy, who do you see making the 53-man roster? Who gives practice squad? Who gets outright cut? Okay, Colt McCoy is making the roster not only because he's the best, and I said this with Kidblue last week. Not only is he just straight up the best like backup quarterback in the league next to Andy Dalton, but look at what the guy did in terms of helping out the team when he wasn't, needed to do like he didn't need to do that. He helped the team and Daniel Jones find some type of practice facility down in Texas with his connections through the University at Texas. He didn't need to do that. He's a backup QB. Like he did a lot for the team this offseason.
Yeah, you're completely right. And as far as I think Colt McCoy is automatically going to make this team. The real deciding factor is Alex Tanney versus Cooper Rush. Now, Alex Tanney has more experience in the league. Cooper Rush is still not really young. He's not young, but as far as to the NFL, he is young. He's an older, he came out.
Why have the Giants even had Alex Tanney around for the past 2-3 years?
Well, they had Alex Tanney this year because Daniel Jones came out and said that Alex Tanney was his mentor, and Alex Tanney was teaching him, all the ins and outs about the NFL and being a quarterback. So that's the only reason why I think he remained there. But I think Colt McCoy is going to fill in that role. So I think Cooper Rush is a good prospect that can develop, and if he could develop into a good backup for us, then great. Because Colt McCoy won't be there all the time.
Exactly, and Kane Zong I'm very sorry I made that mistake. Kane Zong is spitting nothing but facts. The best backup quarterback in the league is Mr. Trubisky. Nothing but facts.
Well, I
You
don't know if
can't.
that's
Are you serious?
dude. I don't know if that's sarcasm, but Mr. Trubisky isn't good. he's not good.
I said
Okay?
best backup quarterback, bro.
Yeah, I know. I don't even think he's the best. I think the best backup quarterback is probably Marcus Mariota.
Oh,
I take Mariota
Jesus.
over Trubisky all the time.
As a backup?
Yes, Mariota is the backup for Las Vegas.
Okay, all right. Listen, I really think Mariota's gonna start at some point. You know what? That's a good point because I don't even look at Marcus Mariota as a backup because I think he's just above that. So that's a good point.
But he is a backup. So there you go. Jameis Winston. Okay, Jameis
Oh,
Winston's
yep. You know what?
option too.
Jameis Winston. No. I'll take Jameis Winston over Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
Jameis might
I
have the
do too. I
interceptions,
forgot
but
about that.
yeah. Look, bro, that's crazy. The two top quarterbacks out of the 2015 draft are backups now.
So yeah, you could argue. Well, guess it is. They're busts.
They are busts. No, you can't argue it. They are busts
Marcus
unless one
definitely
of them
a
makes a bounce back. Unless one of them just completely turns their career around with Vegas or with the Saints. But as of right now, they're busts.
It's crazy because first of all, Jameis has had success in the league with passing yards and stuff like that. But Marcus Mariota, he had promise, man. Week one it was Buccaneers versus the Titans. It was the two quarterbacks versus each other, and Marcus Mariota destroyed him. It was like 42 to 13 or something like that, and they got killed. And Jameis Winston's first pass in the NFL was a pick six, which pretty much told his whole career right there. But Marcus Mariota had promise. He made the playoffs with the Titans. He didn't. Jameis Winston never done that with the Buccaneers. Marcus Mariota actually beat the Chiefs in a playoff. I think he beat the Chiefs. Was it the Chiefs? Where he had that touchdown where it bounced off of somebody's helmet.
I think it was the Chiefs. That was like 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat. I think they beat the Chiefs that year or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. He had promise, man. These guys had promise, but they're busts.
Exactly. TD out here saying, do you think if we get Marcus Golden for $4 million a steal, which is a steal, he will be trade bait for a team who needs an edge rusher? We'd be here for the whole season, bro. If we're getting Marcus Golden for $4 million, he's here for the whole season.
Right.
I've made so many arguments that we shouldn't even wait for that to happen because he's still technically a free agent. I've been said we should have just went out and signed the dude. All right, you don't want to sign for $10 million, sign him for $8 million. It's still gonna be a steal. Personally, I think the whole argument that he's scheme dependent doesn't matter anymore. Because let's look at, let's kind of dissect the career of Marcus Golden, right? For sure, the only 2 good years he's had has been under James Bettcher, which is not going to help my argument here. But he got the ACL injury in 2017. 2018, he was still recovering. We all know ACL injuries in basically every sport, it takes 2 years to make a full recovery. His second year that he recovered was 2019 with the Giants. He got his 10 sacks. Once again, he did play under James Betcher, but considering that this defense, according to Patrick Graham and according to Joe Judge, is going to be really fluid, I don't think it's going to matter because he's going to be in there, in different, looks. He's going to be in there on blitzing downs. He's going to be in there in non-blitzing downs. And let's think about that Buccaneers and the Patriots game. By far, Marcus Golden's two best games last year. The Buccaneers and the Patriots game, where he legitimately looked like a threat. I think that I don't know if he's gonna get 10 sacks again, but I think he's gonna come back and be the best pass rusher that we have, and that's why we should have went out and signed him again.
That's for sure. And I think the only one giving him a run for his money is Kyler Fackrell, just because Kyler Fackrell has had the most. He's had a 10.5 sack season before. I really can't, as much as I want to, and I know every Giants fan wants to, guys, but don't put your stock in Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane Jimenez, man. As much as it pains me to say it, I'm just like you guys. I want these guys to turn out. I want to predict that one of these guys are going to break out with 10 sacks. I just don't. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I had high hopes for Lorenzo Carter as soon as we drafted him. I was like, this guy was a first-round talent, and we drafted him in the third round, and he's done nothing. He's gotten 8.5 sacks in the span of 2 years. So,
listen,
not great.
You guys know I wish Lorenzo Carter can turn around, but honestly, it's up to the football gods at this point. Let's keep it real, man.
Right.
Nerding out saying I think Winston will be good in New Orleans if he stays there past this season. So do I. I really think Drew Brees is towards the end of his career. And let's keep it real. His career probably had like 2 more years, but then after the comments he made a couple weeks ago, just because of the PR stuff, he might end his career a bit early. That's just me, especially considering that he plays in New Orleans. But either way, I think Drew Brees is towards the end of his career.
I still think he can play, but yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those guys. Oh, he's gonna play forever. Like Tom Brady's waiting to go. Drew Brees, I don't think he's gonna last too much longer. And they got do they have a backup yet? Did they draft one?
Jameis is their backup.
Yeah, but I don't think Jameis. I think Jameis is a one. I think Jameis is just there until he finds another job. I don't think they're gonna want to use him as a franchise guy.
And
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Dylan saying Bad Dog just got $200 dono and a $50 donor in no time. Somebody donate $200 right now. Do not donate $200 unless it's of your own volition and you could actually spare that money. That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
That is a lot of money.
Kudos to Bad Dog that he's getting that. John Doe saying I think Joe Judge wants that comp pick because he scouts so much and can get somebody better in the next draft. Thoughts? I'm guessing he's turning back to the Marcus Golden. Well, first of all, John Doe, I would love to think that as well, but who's gonna trade for Marcus Golden? The Seahawks, but the Seahawks do need pass rushing talent, but are you really gonna go out here and trade for Golden?
Just think about
I don't know.
Just think about one thing here. First of all, let me shut this down now. Marcus Golden will not get traded when he signed, just because if a team really wanted him, they would have signed him for $4 million and not have to give up a draft pick to sign him, then have to pay him $4 million. So it's not gonna happen.
That perfect answer right there. Couldn't have said it better myself. Dylan saying and Kane, they need to pay for the college. Listen, bro, I'm out here in college, so I need to pay for my college money, bro. Kane's on saying I will drop out and become a Steve Jobs. Listen, if you become a Steve Jobs, you need to hook me and Kidblue up with some brand new PCs, bro. All right, we'll come on here, but we'll all of a sudden become a tech reviewing channel. Have the webcam set up. Be like, all right, this is the brand new Kane Zong PC 2000, bro. This is gonna run all your games.
KZ.
The KZ, the KZ, bro, is gonna run all your games. It's gonna, do all your streaming. You don't need to get another computer ever again. John Doe is kind of clarifying what he's saying. I think if a team signs, we get a comp pick. There wouldn't be a trade, right? Oh, okay. I think he's saying if a team signs Marcus Golden before the time is up, we get a comp pick. That's the whole thing about that weird tender that we placed on him. I think there is something saying that if a team signs him and we get a comp pick, great. But that's kind of out of our hands.
Yeah. Also, even with the tender in place, even if it wasn't in place, we'll still get a comp pick because, any player that made an impact on your team, if they leave in free agency, you're gonna get a comp pick. I don't think he's gonna get anything more than I don't think the Giants gonna get anything more than like a 4th or 5th rounder, because they only got a 3rd rounder for Landon Collins. Landon Collins throughout his years was all right, and he wasn't the best in 2018. But yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying there, John Doe. He might we might get a comp pick, and that's obviously why the Giants were okay with letting go of Landon Collins, which everybody was pissed about, but I was very happy about.
And yo,
Yeah, that's
Kane
probably
is
why.
saying something that I've been relating to for the past couple of weeks, bro. I don't know about you, but here in New York, not just I live in Queens, but like in Brooklyn and Manhattan also, and apparently nationwide, fireworks has just been going off like weird times of the night, and people can't sleep. I don't know if it's happening to you down in Florida, but I've seen it on Twitter all over the place. I'm like, I thought I was going crazy, but it's all over New York and it's on different parts of the country. People are just letting fireworks go for some reason.
Yeah, because I don't want to get too political on here, but it's because of Independence Day and all this other stuff. And
Oh, really? Independence
yeah,
Day ain't a while from now.
yeah, they're just throwing fireworks though because all
I,
that stuff.
yeah. Oh, you're in Fresh Meadows, Kane Zong. I'm not far. Am I far from Fresh Meadows? I don't know. I'm not that far from here, from Fresh Meadows. I'm actually probably like an half hour out from there. But let's get into DeAndre Baker because today new information, if you could call it that, was kind of released. Two people came out, or two witnesses, two new witnesses, kind of came out of nowhere and said that he didn't even pull a gun out, and it's just looking more and more like Baker's gonna be back on the team. The question still remains: you think he's gonna make it as a starter, or is something gonna get in the way? Is him missing time now gonna get in the way, or is Roger Goodell gonna be a hard ass and get in the way with a suspension?
I don't think he's not gonna. I don't think the NFL has a lot of other stuff on their plate right now, man. They got a lot of other drama going on right now, so I think they're gonna step out the way. As far as DeAndre Baker goes, he's gonna have a starting role there. Nobody's challenging him for it, and it's not like the OTAs are here anyway. Everybody's been at home, so I think and he's still training. I follow him on Instagram. He's still training. He's still putting in the work, even when he was going through all the allegations when they first sparked up. He was still training and going. So that really tells, in my opinion, I know it's not hard evidence to bring up in the court of law, but in my opinion, the fact that DeAndre Baker was still posting training videos and still showing his hard work and effort throughout the whole midst of his allegations tells me that I think the guy's innocent. I think he thinks all that is garbage and he's just focused on his career. So I think DeAndre Baker will be fine. This would just be a little hiccup, but I think he'll be fine.
Exactly. Dylan saying we got to do the Sunday Giants game day streams together. I think that was already in the plans for us to do Giants day streams
For
together.
sure, dude.
You guys already know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that if the football season does happen. And oh yeah, I don't know if people didn't know that. My bad if you didn't want people to know that. But Joe Barrett era says you live in Florida? Question mark.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody, yeah. I tell everybody I live in Florida. Yeah, I live in Florida. I live in the central Florida area near Tampa. So all my coworkers are Tampa fans. So if you guys want the inside scoop on Tampa, I got
You
you.
want to know the inside scoop on who has a shrine of Mike Evans in their locker, bro?
Oh yeah, and they're still split, man. As far as if they love Tom Brady or Jameis Winston, man, they're still split
Really?
down. Yeah.
I would really thought there's gonna be because Tampa Bay fans are usually diehards. I thought they were just gonna stick with Jameis or be like we should have kept Jameis or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are because a lot of them are Florida State fans. So
Mhm.
Florida State, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but remember, a lot of them are also Florida fans.
Yeah.
So or Miami fans, or this, that, and the third. So yeah.
Uh, Bronx B Squad, my bad. He says language hub. There are children here. I'll keep my language to a minimum, but the real thing I should be scared about is YouTube and demonetization, because YouTube been crazy the past couple of years with demonetizing people.
Yeah, man, for sure. You can't even say anything anymore.
Exactly. TD says, I suggested this to Chris to make a video, and maybe this would be fun for you two to make a video on as well. What would it take for Joe Judge to win Coach? KB already
Woo!
addressed this. I'm pretty sure Kidblue has
Yeah,
made several videos on this.
yeah. I already talked about this. I didn't mention. You guys can go back in my video. I think my second to most recent video, the one besides the Colin Kaepernick video, I made a video on Joe Judge and all the pressure that he's under right now. I didn't exactly point to Coach of the Year, but I pointed to everything he has to overcome to be a successful coach in the NFL. And I think even if he, listen, call me crazy. I think even if the Giants get to an 8-8 record, that this guy can win Coach of the Year.
No, it's
I'm
not
not
that he
joking.
could, it's that he should, because they're
I
not
think
going
he
to give it
should.
to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're probably not going to give it to him because of the record. You know what I'm saying? And
But
that's pretty
also
much how
because
it goes.
conspiracy, I think they straight up hate the Giants. Or no, not hate the Giants, but they hate the moves the Giants has made. Because the same people that are going to be voting for Coach of the Year, it's like the same people that's going to be voting for Rookie of the Year last year with DJ, is the media
Right.
people. And I buy into the idea that they didn't give it to DJ because they didn't want to admit they were wrong. the media killed the signing of Joe Judge with the stupid
Oh
the
yeah.
whole stupid
Oh,
arguments about, oh, the Giants are racist. They took a white guy over Eric Bieniemy, and the stupid arguments about, oh, like, why is this guy getting hired? He doesn't have experience, but everybody seems to forget that Harbaugh exists and whatnot. So it's the same people that's gonna be voting for Coach of the Year. They're just gonna hate.
it's just ridiculous because yeah, you're completely right. Nobody even knows that Harbaugh is a special teams guy. Yeah, that's not even anybody. Nobody even knows that. And I bet you, if you were into debate, if you were to tell Stephen A, I bet he doesn't even know. If you were to tell Stephen A, oh, so what do you think of John Harbaugh? I think he's a great coach. Well, did you know that he was a special teams coordinator?
He's gonna, you know what Stephen A is gonna do? He's gonna pause for like 2 seconds and be like, well, that doesn't matter. That's what he's gonna do.
And you know what's funny? And it's the same thing with the Haskins and Daniel Jones situation. The black
And
versus white,
Dylan Renner just brought it up exactly.
right. And Stephen A was always, and I lit up Stephen A. Smith on both of those subjects. But the Joe Judge situation in particular, and leaving race behind when talking about qualifications, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Stephen A. Smith is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and like a borderline Giants fan, but not in the past couple of years. But he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He always talks about Mike Tomlin like he's God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin, if you look at Mike Tomlin's resume, this guy was a nobody. He was part of the Tampa Bay regime when they won the Super Bowl as a defensive backs coach for like a couple of years, maybe like 1 or 2 years. He had one season as a defensive coordinator for the Vikings, and then he got the head coaching job. So if he wants to look at guys that are in coaching situations with not as good qualifications, he has to look at his own coach that he loves so much in Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The hypocrisy that Stephen A. Smith has is crazy.
And let's just talk about common sense too, right? Common sense would tell you, hey, there's a good chance that this dude is gonna be a great coach because it's the NFL. The NFL is a complete parody of itself every year. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Right. And you know who is giving the Giants love? Nate Burleson.
Really?
Nate Burleson of NFL Network has been preaching
for
the
real?
New York Giants.
Because
Yeah,
like
he
I
used to
haven't
hate
seen.
him.
Yeah, I was about to say
He used to hate
I
him.
haven't seen Good Morning Football in a while. But when
Yeah.
I used to watch, Nate Burleson was like a big hater.
He hated the Giants last year, but now he loves Daniel Jones. He loves Joe Judge. He was talking about he actually has the Giants winning the NFC East. And I don't think that, but he actually has them winning the NFC East, and he's confident in it. I don't know if this is a media hype. I don't know if this is a PR stunt. I don't know if it's to create hot takes and create clicks, because I know it probably did.
I mean,
So-
isn't Good Morning Football filmed in NYC? So maybe it was for that.
It is. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm a big fan of the show just because I like Casey Adams. But
Yo, listen, man. Casey,
That's her name, right?
It's
That's
not.
her name.
It's not Casey Adams. I don't think it's Casey. It's what is it?
What's her name?
I follow. I'm about to pull up my Twitter right now because I follow her on Twitter. Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
She's fire, man.
Listen,
She's fire.
man. Listen. Her and Joy Taylor, bro. Nah, man.
Joy Taylor, dude.
Joy
yes.
Taylor is beyond this world, man. Listen, Joy Taylor, if you're listening.
K Adams.
K Adams, yeah.
Not
K
Casey
Adams.
K Adams. All right.
I used to like Molly, but Molly is the worst moderator in the history of
Oh
moderators.
my God! Because Molly used to. I don't know if you remember back in the day. Back in the day, Molly was on NFL Network.
I didn't know that, nah.
Yeah, that was where I knew Molly Karam from. She was on NFL Network, and this was back in 2011. 2011, 2012.
That's a while ago, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 2011, 2012, 2013, around that area. Molly Karam was on the NFL Network, and bro, I would literally tune in just to watch Molly and football. Like, Molly and football at the same time, like, damn. And she didn't talk about those stupid. She didn't say
She was a
anything
moderator.
stupid. Yeah, she didn't say anything stupid. She was just hosting. But ever since she got on First Take, man, I'm like, yo, oh my God. And I used to like Max Kellerman when he was on Sports Nation. Now I can't stand the guy. But yeah, Molly Karam, Joy Taylor is fire. And yeah, Kay Adams, dude, Kay Adams.
And I forgot her name. The one
Yeah, I'm
that
trying to
hosts.
think of anybody.
There's one that hosts the segments with Deion Sanders Sunday nights after football games. Forgot her name.
That's-
Jesus Christ.
I think I know who you're talking
It's
about.
like, yeah, completely forgot her name.
NFL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on NFL Network Sunday nights after football games. John Doe says they never mentioned Joe Judge got 3 rings, if only inexperience along for the ride. That's a good point. You're on a 3-time Super Bowl winning team. You're bound to get exposed to like any types of tips and tricks, and you're bound to learn something. Like, come on now.
Oh, I know you're talking about Colleen Wolf.
Yeah, Colleen Wolf.
Yeah, she's cute too. She's cute too.
I wonder if anybody in the chat is just not with this right now, but
They
oh,
gotta be with this. Come on, man. You guys are with this. You guys are straight.
what's up, Jesse? What's up, Jesse Bryan? No problem for tuning in late, bro. You're tuning in definitely at a weirder time, but it'd be good. Dylan Renner bringing up Genie from Undisputed. I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't watch Undisputed
Jenny,
like that
yeah,
anymore.
Jenny. I'm not a big fan of Jenny. No, not a big fan of Jenny. She got a long face.
Yo, I will say this though. Skip and Shannon gave Jenny a hard time when she started out in Undisputed. I don't know if you know that. Like they
They
used
also
to.
gave Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor quit. That's
Yeah.
that's why she went on to Colin Cowherd. Oh, the girl that was on with Colin Cowherd in the beginning. What's her
Before,
name?
right? I don't know her. I know exactly who you talking about. I don't know.
Yo,
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
She
I know
was on
exactly who
American
you're talking
Ninja
about.
Warrior too. She was on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Um,
I have no idea who you're talking about. I mean, I have an idea who you're talking about. I have no idea the name. Um,
Cowherds.
Dylan Renner out here, bro. Jenny is actually a great. I'll tell you right now, in terms of just being a good moderator, John Doe, Jenny is a good moderator. The moderator from First Things First, I forget her name, but she's probably the best moderator out there. I don't know if you guys watch First Things First, but she's. But
Oh,
I hate the
God.
show. But in terms of just moderator being a good moderator, I forget her name. She's the best one. Whenever she speaks, it's at the right time. And yo, she's one of the smartest people. She is the smartest person on that show,
Really?
bro. Yeah,
Well,
she
they
is.
need to put
Chris
her on
Chris
first take,
Carter
man.
is just dumb, and then he got fired. And Nick Wright, I don't know, man. Nick
He
Wright
got
just be saying
fired?
some stupid thing. You don't know Chris Carter got fired? Cause
What?
Chris, okay, first of all, Chris Carter is a scumbag. I think we all know this. I don't like to judge people if you got problems with with drugs and addiction, but Chris Carter keeps relapsing, and then he apparently he sexually assaulted somebody on the Fox Sports team, so they had to let him go. So Chris Carter is just a scumbag. This was back in like November of last year, man.
What? It's been that long?
Yeah.
Oh, snap, my bad. That's
Yeah,
wrong,
Chris
wrong.
Carter is just like, and like after that, like mad things start coming out about him. I think it was like 2012 or 2013. He was asked to speak to the rookies about not getting in trouble, and I'm like, why did you pick this guy? He has a history of getting in trouble. Guess what he told the rookies? Instead of giving
What?
them actual advice, and the NFL had to like put out a statement after this. So this was years ago, saying like, oh, we don't support what he said. He told the rookies, if you ever get in a bad situation, make sure you have a fall guy so that they take the blame and you get off free. I was like, yo, who is this dude, man? Who is this dude? Jesse Bryan says we sound like we need some female friends, bro.
I got a girlfriend, and she's okay with it. I tell her all the time, man.
Yeah, Jesse, it'd be good over here, my guy.
I
Bronx.
found out the name of the girl. If you all right, you want to Jesse, you want to talk about a girl? Look up Christine Leahy.
Yeah.
Okay? She used to be the host for the Herd with Colin Cowherd, and then let's talk about your girlfriend, okay? And
Bronx B Squad. This went from Giants talk to a talk about a bunch of hot football women. Listen, the news
Football
is
and
dry.
women,
Are
you
you
can't
telling
get any
me? Are you telling me that you're not entertained by this Bronx B Squad? I know you're entertained.
are you telling me you're not entertained when you watch these football
Facts,
shows?
bro.
You're not staring at these girls? Come on, guys. Come on. Just be real.
Joe. Okay. Joe Bird.
Look at Jesse Bryce.
Christine, what? Yo, type in the exact name, bro.
Yeah, I'll type in the exact name.
So yeah, getting back to the Chris Carter thing, like he sexually assaulted somebody, and Dylan says he got not Dylan, John Doe says he got thrown off the property. He didn't exactly get thrown off the property, but he was escorted by security off the property.
Chris Carter?
Yeah.
So what did he do? Like he was caught in the act of sexually assaulting somebody.
I
and
think
then...
somebody just came out about it.
Oh, okay.
And then here's the weird thing, right? A couple weeks later, another story came out saying that, oh, he got into an argument with the higher ups about getting a contract raise. I'm like, you don't fire somebody because they're arguing with you for a contract raise. It's definitely the first story that came out. So I just wanted to put that out there in case anybody was gonna bring it up. Like, you're not gonna fire somebody that's a host for one of your premiere shows, even though it's not a good premiere show. You're not gonna fire them because they're out here asking for a contract raise.
Right, exactly.
And
God.
Jabarte era, let me just I guess steer it back to football talk. He's asking who do you guys think will lead the team in interceptions? I said James Bradbury based off of just pure experience and who he went up against in the NFC South. Because we
Yeah,
talked about this earlier.
yeah, we talked about this earlier. I had James Bradbury as well with about 4 or 5, give or take. Yeah, he just has the most experience, and Jabril Peppers just isn't a ball hawk, and Deontay Baker isn't a ball hawk. None of these guys are really ball hawks, and James Bradbury is more of a cover guy, not a ball hawk either, but just the best defensive back on the team, so I gotta naturally go his way.
Bruh, Jesse Bryan says, thank you, KB. Keep in mind that I'm 13. Listen,
Oh my!
Jesse.
Well, I just helped you out in your route to puberty, my
Uh,
friend. In your route to man, I just helped you out in your route to manhood, my friend.
oh my God. Bro, Bronx B Squad really trolling it up out here. He says, "Hub, you like 20 and you're single. I'm 9 and I got a girlfriend. I got an ex from when I was 7." All right, Bronx B Squad, you're out here. You're wilder than Kid Blue. Kid Blue had a kid when he was 11 or something, bro. He
Yeah,
had he, damn,
Chris
his name
Sonor.
is Chris Sonor. He had Chris Sonor when he was 11. You're out here wilding, bro. John Doe saying, bro, getting escorted is thrown off the property. In his opinion, I guess so. I mean, he was security escorted out the building. They did forcibly pull him off the property, so you got a point there.
Yeah.
Um, you saw what Dylan Renner said? I'm searching up
Yeah.
lookalikes on the hub tonight, and it's not the sports hub. Listen,
Love it.
Dylan, you have my DMs on Twitter, Instagram, and Xbox, man. Just slide me a link if you find anything.
Slide me a link.
Listen, man, me and Dylan be chatting
Oh
sometimes.
man. Oh man, it's hilarious.
Um, oh my God, I don't even know what else to talk about right now. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
it real.
Well, it's 11. It is 11.
Yeah, it is 11. Unless you guys got any more, I guess, questions, any other interesting topics. Oh, Madeline Burke. That name sounds familiar, and for some reason the face is not coming with the name. Oh, she's the Giants beat reporter, Madeline Burke. Yeah,
Really?
she's alright. Yeah, I don't know if she's like one of the best Giants beat reporters. On Twitter, she's on Twitter also. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that emoji, the hard eyes emoji, for sure.
She's all right.
Listen, man, if Madeline Burke can get me onto the field and access to the Giants players, she's an 11 out of 10, bro.
You're gonna use her?
I never said that. I just said if she can get me onto the field and get me access to some Giants players. Yo, KB is with Shill Media, bro. He's putting fake news out here, my guy.
Oh man. Oh my god, of course Bronx B squad like he's like 9 years old or something like that, say Madison Beer. Oh lord.
Oh my God. John Doe is saying he actually has some faith in O'Shane Zimenez. O'Shane,
Yeah.
it's O'Shane. The reason I don't have as much faith in him as a lot of Giants fans do is because O'Shane is basically what happened. Like the situation right now with him is the situation with Lorenzo Carter. The same arguments people are making for O'Shane Zimenez are the same arguments I was making for Lorenzo Carter last year. Oh, he had limited snaps. He had 4.5 sacks. Imagine what he could do with more snaps. I said the same thing for Lorenzo Carter entering last season, and it didn't pan
Sure.
out. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with O'Shane Zimenez. I'm not doubting him. I'm not believing in him. I'm just waiting.
One thing that I think, remember how we talked about Darius Slayton and how he'll probably be best suited as a number 2 guy because he probably won't be a great number 1 as he will be a great number 2. Lorenzo Carter is probably best suited as a rotational guy and not a starter. Because remember, he was a rotational guy getting 4 sacks with Olivier Vernon, with Jason Pierre-Paul there. No, Jason Pierre-Paul wasn't there. It was Olivier Vernon and who else was on the other opposite side? Okay, its name is escaping me right now. I know we had Connor Barwin in there and stuff like that, but Lorenzo Carter had limited snaps, so that's where he was really getting his success. But the moment he got the 100% role, that all shifted. So
It's definitely possible, and it comes back exactly to what you brought up earlier with these third round guys and expecting them to be, the first option at pass rusher is kind of
Right.
unrealistic. They're gonna be
Right.
rotational guys at best. And we got the chat is freaking out right now, bro. Jesse Bryan said, "Cavely, I looked her up. You the man." He's talking about Christine Leahy, man.
Okay, I looked at you weren't lying. Damn, I just gave Jesse Bryant. I just helped
You just
him man up.
you just unlocked a whole new level for Jesse Bryan, bro.
Dude, I think Jesse Bryan is getting facial hair on his head.
Bro, all of a sudden, man lifted up his arm and just hair starts sprouting out, bro. Oh my god. Dylan Renner's out here angry. He says no Marley Quinn lookalikes, man. Bro, let me know if you find a Joey Taylor lookalike. That's
Joey Taylor. Yeah.
Bronx B Squad said, read my comment before Madison Beer. Just type it again, bro. Can't really scroll up in the Streamlabs right now. And he says, just saying, she's fine as hell, bro. Who are you talking about? I don't know. And Dylan Renner is out here simping for somebody named Addison Ray. I don't know who that is.
No, I think I've heard of her before. I don't know.
He said, all right, I'm done before I get myself riled up. Listen, man.
He doesn't want to get aroused.
Listen, bro, listen. Dylan Renner, the stream is going to end soon. I mean, if you need to do something, if you need to cool the cucumber, so to speak, bro, you got time. You got time.
If you need to release pressure from the pipes.
Exactly.
Just
bro, you need to go take care of some plumbing. It's all good, bro. John Doe saying we need Slayton to go number 2 on the number 1 corner to be competitive. What do you mean by that? To go number 2 on the number 1 corner? Oh, I get it. I get it. It took me a while.
Yeah,
it took me a while.
Understood it too.
You know what, John Doe? I appreciate that. Man is looking out because YouTube is wilding out here. Lucky Luciano saying, guys, trust the process. Michael Strahan only had 5.5 sacks his first 2 years in the league. That's a good point. The difference is, though, Michael Strahan learned from the best football player in the entirety of the NFL history in Lawrence Taylor. So you got to take that into account, too. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that I'm not completely shutting down the argument for Jimenez or Carter, but I am saying that definitely has something to do with it.
Right.
And, all right, guys. I'm out. Thanks for making my day. Jesse Bryan, same thing, man. And you know what? I think we're going to head out now, too. It was definitely a fun stream. I think this was the most fun I had in one of these streams just because of where it turned to towards the end, bro.
That was funny, yeah.
But, yeah, man, we're going to be out, guys. Thank you to all of you for tuning in, everybody that, chatted with us, had fun with us, everybody that donated. Thank you, as Dylan Renner's turning in one last joke, stroke the choke. And that's a good sign to end it. Any last words, KB?
Stroke the choke, man. But anyway, yeah, guys, thank you guys for joining in. Had a lot of fun talking football, talking football ladies, and yeah, it was fun, man. Fun.
And
always a pleasure.
Bronx B Squad, you're not getting laid. I saw your last comment, bro. It's okay.